Namaskaram. Welcome to the 5th episode of Hamsa Sandesham in our Kavitva series. I am Padma Raghavan, Artistic Director, Selambam, Mylapore, an institution for Bharatanatyam excellence. As always, before going into this episode, let us see what Shivaranjani has to say about her paintings that she has sent this time also. So over to Shivaranjani.
This painting depicts the girls of the Choyanadu admiring the pure white swan, which is continuing on its journey, carrying its message to Sita. This painting depicts the evening sky and sea and the domes of the palace of Lanka. I imagine this scene to be the vision witnessed by the swan while flying to Lanka. Though the palace is white in color in reality, due to the sunset, it has been colored in warm shades.
Thank you so much, Shivaranjani, for sending your paintings. So let us see what we have in this episode. In this episode, Hamsa has reached Lanka. Here, Rama has given a lot of guidance and instructions to Hamsa, saying how the Lanka will be and what will be the condition of Sita, what will be her appearance, how will her appearance be, what will be her mental condition, how she will be feeling very upset about her situation. All this Rama would have told Hamsa. So Rama further instructs and says that when you go to Lanka, you will be seeing all these women, the divine women, who would also have been imprisoned by Ravana. But Ravana cannot do anything because he is under this curse that if he misbehaves or touches any woman without her consent, his head would burst into pieces. So Ravana has imprisoned all these divine ladies along with Sita. So Rama says that Sita should also think about all those ladies who are also imprisoned, who are under the same condition that Sita is. And when I come over, I shall release all the other divine ladies along with Sita. So Rama here tells about these ladies, how these ladies are, and Rama compares Hamsa with these divine ladies. What does he say? He says Leela Khelam and Lalita Gamanam. That is, these women have the gait of the Hamsam. Playful gait of Hamsam, Leela Khelam, and Lalita Gamanam, the gentle walk of the ladies. Then Charunadam, that is of Hamsam, with Sashincha, that is the sound of the Hamsam is like the gentle tinkling sound of the anklets worn by these women. Balla Aksham, and the women have Smarak Charak Drisha. That is, the women's eyes are like the Manmata's arrows, and so also is the Hamsam having the eyes like arrow. Mukta Alapam is the melodious voice of Hamsam. Madhura Vachanam is the sweet words uttered by these divine ladies. So he says that these women shed tears because of their separation, and you are going to feel very sad about it too. Now you will go further and you will see this huge palace of Ravana. You on one side, you're going to be extremely happy to see this palace, and on the other side, you're going to feel so sad for the women who have been imprisoned. Then he will say, you should not go to the palace. Please go to the garden adjoining the palace. And this garden is filled with Ashoka trees, and that is why the name of this garden is Ashokavan. There will be so many birds flying. Do fly with them, but keep an eye and look out for this Simsuba tree, under which you will find this divine woman called Sita. Here I am going to read out this beautiful verse where Rama describes Sita. He tells Hamsa how Sita will be to look at. He says, Same Drishtihi Shafara Nayana Sannata Bhru Sukeshi Tanvi Tungasthanabaranata Tapta Jambula Raba Bala Yushmat Pratibha Gamana Vedi Madhya Varangi Shringarakyam Nidhi Madhigata Shreyasi Devate. So what Rama says is, he addresses Sita as Bala and says, Same Drishti, she is like the apple of my eye, and she has curved eyebrows, fish-like eyes, and she has this beautiful hair, Sukeshi, Tanvi, and her body is drooping with the heaviness of her breast, and she has this beautiful melted golden colored body, and says she walks like you. Don't all the poets compare the woman's walk with the Hamsa? Don't they say in Tamil, Annanade? And that is what Rama here talks about Sita's walk, and says she is the Shringhara Devata, and she is the woman of greatness and superior quality. This is what Rama talks about Sita. Then he goes on to say that Sita is very sad and very upset, and she will be looking in my direction and talking to all the birds. Maybe she is sending messages to me. Maybe she has got this intuition that somebody is going to carry my message to her. So she will be looking in my direction, waiting for the messages. And she also is overwhelmed with love for me. And she would have spread out all the jewelry in front of her, and she would be talking to those jewelries about all the intimate time she had with me. And what happens next is, in the next verse, Rama uses the word manye. Manye means I think. Naan karudigireen, naan nenikkiren. I think is what is the word that Rama uses in the next few things. And he says, I think that just like how a moon doesn't lose its purity or greatness if it shines in a cruel person's house, or if a parijata tree is planted among the wild bushes, it doesn't lose its fragrance or the greatness. And the poem doesn't lose its beauty if it is recited to somebody who is ignorant. Just like that, Sita doesn't lose her quality or her greatness just because she is amongst these Rakshasis in the Ashokavana. That is what Rama talks. And Rama goes on to say further to Hamsa that Sita will be like this pond that is ruffled by rain, like this cruel word uttered, like the lotus filled with slush, like how the female elephant will be feeling when it is separated from the male elephant, and how the moon covered by the clouds would be, and how a deer will be amongst these wild tigers, and that is how Sita will be in the Ashokavana. And he also says that before our separation, due to Manmata's arrows and due to the Shringara Rasa, she used to come and embrace me, get solace, get protection. But now I am not there, and because of the separation, she would lie down on the Mother Earth and embrace the Mother Earth, because doesn't a woman turn to her mother in the absence of her Lord? And isn't the Mother Earth actually Sita's mother? So she would be lying down there embracing the Mother Earth. And he also goes on to say further that Anjaneya has brought back the Chudamani, the ornament, and he has taken from me the ring and given it to her. She will be holding on to that ring for her life, and she will be thinking about me, and her thoughts are like a yogi. Her thoughts are nothing but just about me. She would be looking at everything, but her eyes would be blank because her body and soul is full of me, and she will be in this upset sorrow state. And he also tells one beautiful incident where this Shringara Rasa is. He says that Sita would have dropped her anklet, one of her anklets, and she has one anklet, I have the other anklet. She would be looking at that anklet and she would be remembering the time when I took her feet gently and placed it on my lap and wound that anklet around her feet. And she would be thinking about that and she would be very upset. Then he says, I can't bear this tears or the sad state of Sita. Anjaneya also could not bear this. You will also not be able to bear it. And don't think that you are just a bird, so you do not have the emotions. You are much better than all these Rakshasas, the characterless Rakshasas surrounding her. And so you will definitely feel this sadness when you see Sita. But who can escape fate? This is the fate. Do tell her that I shall come very quickly and release her from the clutches of these wild Rakshasas. So in the next episode, I am going to be talking about the complete Shringara of Rama and how he feels and how he is affected. Until next time, it is bye from Padma. Namaskar.